Welcome to the Irrigation Insights Podcast, where we talk about the business of irrigation. I'm your host, Jacob.
And I'm your co-host, Ben. We're live.
All right. What's up, Ben?
What's going on, buddy? Ready for another good podcast, huh?
Yeah. Yep. And we've actually been getting some messages. I've been talking to some guys. I want to say shout out to our followers, our boys in Canada. We got some followers up there.
Really?
Yeah. We've been getting some listeners up there. And our boys down under in Australia. We've been getting.
Oh, yeah. I did see the Australian followers. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. I've been talking to one of the guys in Canada. So this mastermind conference in Massachusetts, January 7th through the 9th. Apparently there's going to be quite a few guys on there. Somebody reached out to me and said that they were going. A bunch of other guys are going that use Service Titan. So they reached out to me and said we should go. The Irrigation Mastermind Conference, 7th through the 9th. I don't know. Probably can't see that, but whatever. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then he told me that there's a Canadian conference. I don't know what's this called. It's a 2025 irrigation conference in Canada, Calgary, Alberta, February 3rd to the 6th. You want to go to Alberta?
Sounds like a good afternoon.
I think Alberta would be beautiful. I've never been.
How long are we staying?
The 3rd through the 6th. It'd be cold.
Yeah, I was going to say, are we going just for the conference, or are you going to, all expenses paid, some other things?
Yeah, maybe we have to check it out.
Yeah, that's what there you go.
I actually don't know how cold it would be.
I want to get the limits on the credit cards raised first.
Yeah. I don't know how cold it would be up there. But Kevin Battis, I can never say his name. Kevin Battistani from Hunter. He's going to be there. That'll be cool. But I think the biggest thing for this one, Ellen Rohr, who's like the queen bee of accounting for home services, she's going to be there. She wrote the book, How Much Should I Charge? And I think our famous book is Where Did the Money Go? She's going to be there talking about that. Tommy Mello is a big fan of hers. He hired her personally to come in there and help him with his garage door company. So that's going to be cool. I think if you can afford to go see her speak, you should. So maybe we should go.
Yeah, that's up to you. You're driving.
No, I'm not driving up there. We're flying.
Flying where? To Canada?
Yeah.
No, we can drive up there. We take one of the vans.
From Dallas.
We drove to Montana one year.
Dang.
Remember a couple years ago when I took off for 2 weeks? We went to
Oh,
Montana?
yeah, that's right.
It wasn't too bad. As long as you got a comfortable seat. We can take my van. It's got comfy seats.
Yeah, put a little air mattress in the back.
Yeah, we take turns sleeping. We
Yeah.
just drive straight through.
Oof. Yeah, could do that.
Yeah. Then if we could get like a little heater for it, we wouldn't even have to get a hotel. We just sleep in the van.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
That'd be miserable.
It'd be the most fun I would never want to have again.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
Still, it'd be cool though.
It would be cool. I've heard the pictures I've seen of Alberta. It's beautiful. And it's on the west coast of Canada, I think. Pretty sure. Like up north of Washington.
Oh, that's not bad. But you get there in 2 days.
So I don't know if it's, I'm sure it's cold, but I don't know if it's like.
I met this guy one time that moved down here from Washington, and he said the straight through drive, if you were to get in the truck and drive straight here to Dallas, it was 27 and a half hours.
That's far.
Yeah. So I think we could do it in 20.
Oh, not in a van. Golly.
Depends on which van we take.
Yeah.
If we took the one that's on transmission number 4, maybe not.
No.
We might end up with transmission number 5 and 6 before we get back.
Yeah, for sure. We'd be living up there the rest of the winter. Waiting on that van.
Yeah. It's a good thing. It's a good thing we got laptops.
Yeah, no doubt. We just stay up there. No, I think this stuff would be cool. I've been talking to this guy.
So what's our main focus today? I know we're not going to talk about a trip you're not going to take us on all episode.
Now I'm thinking about this one. I don't know about the one in Massachusetts. Maybe. So we're gonna be pretty busy around that time, but I do think this one in Canada would be good, especially if Ellen Rohr's going. I'm a big fan of hers. But no, for this episode, got a couple things I want to talk about. What do you think about going through objections?
Oh, you printed that off. Okay.
Yeah, going through price objections. So I want to get into that here in a minute. First thing, I was seeing this post on Facebook we had pulled up. I wanted to bring that back up. We've been this is the stuff we've been talking about, not only on the podcast, but oh, there we go, right there. We've been talking about this stuff right here. And this guy said, do any of y'all have business coaches, resources to listen to? It took us 1.5 years to get to 150,000 per truck. Went into a stall in growth for another 1.5 years. Now he's at 150,000 per truck. So he's at max capacity for one guy, one truck. He's going to go up on his prices across the board 10% in the spring. You click on see more. It says his conversion rate is 100%, virtually 100%. I'd be curious to know if he's actually tracking that. He wants to bring that down close to 80 by raising his prices. So his goal is to get to 200,000 per truck solo. He's trying to get to the next hurdle. And he's talking about hiring employees, software integration. Really just wants to grow. So he's looking for resources. Well, not to self-promote, I think this podcast is pretty good. I mean, these are all the challenges that we've gone through.
Yeah, every single one, really.
Yeah.
We heard that challenge a few years ago.
Yeah. There's a bunch of comments in here. Some are negative, some are positive. And he posted this same post in Tommy Mello's Facebook group. They were all positive. Some people in here are saying, like, why grow? You growing just to grow? I don't like that mindset. And his response was, well, I hurt my back in August, and that shut me down. Which is exactly right. If you're a solo guy and you get hurt,
you're done.
It's over. That's why you grow. I mean, that's just one of the many reasons. What are some of the comments here?
You've got the mouse.
Oh, I got the mouse. Oh, sure. All right.
Yeah, I believe. Yeah.
Let's see. Let's just see what some of the things they said before we get into it. Some of the local suppliers have webinars and classes on marketing, other business topics. Have our suppliers done any of that? Like other than?
Yeah, I mean, well.
Other than just how to do the work.
Yeah, I don't think they've done anything like that. They just usually have seminars on like they're having the 2-Wire conference here pretty soon.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything about that. I looked up this Andy guy. I think these are just some motivational guys. One tech can handle 300 to 400 accounts. I don't really know what that means. I think you can handle more than that. Oh, well, actually, I really don't know. Haven't done the math.
What does he mean by accounts, or does he mean clients?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Because we got one guy that handled 600. That went to 634 jobs this year.
Yeah, we did just look at that.
Yeah, and the year's not even over yet.
Yeah, another guy went to 500. Really, probably if you're sitting about 400, that's probably better.
Yeah.
If you can make
your revenue off of that many, yes.
Yeah, that's better. The more money you can make off less jobs. That's always going to be the winner. And Sorry for the pauses here. We're trying to go through this stuff.
Yeah, we're trying to find the good comments.
Yeah.
You're looking for the good ones or the negative ones?
I'm just trying to see what other people are saying here. I haven't read it all. Let me know if anything sticks out to you. I mean, this guy's saying he developed a system, but didn't really say what his system is. Yeah, this is the guy saying growing for growth's sakes. What profit are you making? Adding an extra staff member only adds extra costs and makes things harder, but it's like, that's just negativity. Because he said somewhere in here he got hurt and had to shut down. All right, let's see. Listen to the tradesman experience. I don't know what that was. Maybe that's a podcast or something. Haven't heard of it. This guy's saying he's probably maxed out. I don't think 150, 175,000 is maxed out for one guy.
Definitely not.
No.
Maybe maxed out for the way his system is set up.
Yeah. You could increase prices. I mean, you definitely need to increase prices. I'd be curious to know
if his conversion rate is virtually 100%. I'm assuming what that means is it's anywhere between 97 and 100%. It tells me that his prices are too low.
Yeah, if it truly is. I get skeptical when people say that unless you have the data. Show me where you're tracking. Are you on House Call Pro or Service Titan? If you're tracking it, then let's see. I mean, a conversion for us is anything over basically $90. If it's less than $90, it's not a conversion.
Yeah, there's a good answer.
Yeah.
Goal should be 350,000 to 500,000 per tech. Get your pricing up, and the growth will follow.
Set up a proper marketing budget and hire a marketing agency. Add one office person per 2 techs.
And focus on customer service.
Yeah.
That's exactly the way to do it.
Yeah. I think that ratio, 1 office person per 2 techs, I think the ratio is probably like 1 to 3, but still, I mean, that's solid right there.
That's still solid advice.
Yeah. You need to get to 350.
And yes, that guy up there is right. Adding staff members will increase costs, but you have to account for that.
Yeah. And then if you listen to our episode on building your price book, if you build your price book, it will account for that. And you just got to manage people. I think a lot of people are scared.
They get to that step and then they're afraid to make it.
Yeah, they're afraid to let their guys out. I've been watching. I looked at some of this guy's posts once I saw it. He's been training a guy for a while. At some point, you got to send him out there.
Let him make mistakes.
Yeah. Set him, get him ready, get him what he needs to be on his own, and get him out. Yeah, let him fail. As long as he's not being rude to your customers, let him go make mistakes. And then when he does, send him back to fix it. If you need to go back with him, go back with him. Especially on your first guy. That first guy's so critical.
Yeah, I mean, any mistake he makes, he'll learn from it really fast.
Yeah.
Especially when he realizes that he's got to waste half his day going back to fix his mistake.
Yeah, yeah, he's not going to want to do that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're not paying hourly, you're paying more of a pay for performance, a piece rate, you're paying by the job, then they're not going to get paid for their callbacks.
Yeah. Yeah, if they're on hourly, they're not going to care about messing up.
Yeah, so it's just going to further, they're going to figure this stuff out pretty quick.
Yeah. They're going to figure out, all right, I got to stop fucking up, essentially.
Yeah, I think people wait too long to get somebody out there. I saw another post, this guy, and luckily everybody else chimed in and told him he was an idiot. But somebody said, I want to get into the irrigation business. What should I do to learn this and that? And the guy was like, spend 10 years on an install truck, then spend 5 years in a service truck, and then you can go out on your own. And they were like, so I got to spend 15 years in the industry before I can
No.
And everybody was dogging on me. He defended it too. He was like, "Yeah, you do." Everybody was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard."
Yeah.
But it doesn't take that long. It
It
really.
might have took that guy 15 years.
Yeah, I get you. If you're a real dummy, and they don't have to know everything. You just got to get.
You can't know everything.
Yeah.
You just can't.
Mm-mm. You just got to know.
And really, if you're the one starting the business, you don't have to know shit about anything.
No, I wanted to talk about that too. I mean, that was another. Maybe it was on the other group he posted in Tommy Mello's group, but the guy was like, he said he could help him with this and to DM him, but he said the first step is getting him out of the truck.
Yeah.
If you want to grow.
I mean, we got a $2 million gross business. This guy has maybe 6 hours of field experience, maybe. No, 6 hours of field. Never been on a service truck by himself. Never been on an install truck by himself. He's been out with a couple of us a few times to run a trencher. I have never seen this guy. Don't ever know of you ever going out, looking at somebody's system, running an inspection, and trying to diagnose an issue. I have never seen you do that.
I've done it once. But
your mom's house does not count.
No. I did it once. It was a warranty.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And it was still when we had that brown van or that brown truck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Anyway, 6 hours of field experience. Had absolutely none.
Yeah. License and everything, but I don't.
You can ask him anything in the world you want about running this business or running a business. He's got the answer for you just like that. If you ask him how to diagnose a shorted valve, he's just going to look at you with a blank stare. You're like, what is that?
It's not my job to know that.
Yeah. He'll just look at you and say, that sounds like $500. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not my job. And that's the whole point. I mean,
you don't have to have field. You don't have to have any background in this business to run it. And running a business is running a business.
Yeah, it's two totally separate things. And just because you're a good technician doesn't mean you're good at running a business either. It's two totally.
No, we've seen that.
Yeah, we've seen that a bunch.
Can't use any names, but we've seen it before.
Yeah, we have seen it. It's totally different skill sets.
You gotta have the right people in the right place. And we see, we look at these Facebook groups and we see these guys. One of the biggest things, it seems like one of the biggest downfalls to these guys is their inability to not micromanage everything, or their inability to not micromanage. You got these guys on here that have been working in this industry for 20 plus years, and they're running a business, and they're out here micromanaging their guys when they really need to be micromanaging somewhere else. They need to be running their business, but instead they're worried about their guys, clocking in 20 minutes late.
Yeah.
When really they should have spent that 15 minutes that they were upset about that guy clocking in 20 minutes late, working with a marketing agency or something.
Mm-hmm.
And they're the guys that are still handwriting invoices and mailing them to people.
Yeah.
Not working on collecting on site, all that stuff.
Yeah. Focused on all the wrong things.
Yeah.
They were worried about just
trying to figure out why they're capped at $175,000 a year when they still don't always collect on site, still don't have any kind of good ad source, have no control over Google, no brand, no marketing, no nothing. Just worried about hiring more people, which is not a bad thing. More people obviously equals more revenue, but we've seen sometimes hiring guys is not the answer.
Yeah.
Especially when they come out and they net 60,000 over the whole year.
No, yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
And your good guys are only going to be as efficient as your business is. If you actually hire a good service tech to work for you, he's gonna hit your cap before you even realize where it is. He's gonna find wherever your business is capped at, he's gonna hit it.
Yeah, that is true. That is very true.
If your cap is $120,000 gross off of that truck, but his conversion rate's 100%. Well, there's your cap right there. Your price is too low.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you start getting somebody really good. Yeah, I think this guy.
I mean, I would argue that like he was saying, I would argue that you wouldn't want any technician to have a conversion rate over 80%.
Yeah, I mean,
because even your guys that are good, even if the truck's making 500,000 a year, and his conversion rate's still 95%, that tells me that he can go up on prices. Maybe just him by himself, but that tells me he can go up.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Tommy says that they have a 90% conversion, which I still, like we were talking about, they're offering a lot of different options, 6 options on every job.
Mm-hmm.
That might have something to do with having such a high conversion rate.
Yeah.
But I know that each van's pulling way more than 175,000.
Oh, they probably pull 175,000 in a month.
Some of them do for sure. Yeah, I would say the average is they were probably at 500,000 per truck. You got a $200 million business.
Yeah, and then we look at these irrigation posts, and I swear all we see, dude, even in the summertime I see it. All I see is blowouts.
Yeah.
Like I get that it's up north and it's a big part of their business, but
nobody wants to talk about like growing the business. I like seeing posts like this though, because of
people essentially wanting to better themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're starting to think about it, trying to get people to think about this stuff. Because this guy, he could get himself to 300,000, but really he needs to get out of the truck. You need to get somebody answering the phones for you. And who knows how many, I'm going to be curious how many calls you're missing because you're running everything solo. You could be, you could be running 4 vans right now and you don't even know it just because that's how many calls you're missing.
Yeah.
And then you could instantly go, even if you are 200,000 per truck.
I'd be curious what his booking rate is. That's what we're looking for. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Even if you are.
If his booking rate is anything like what yours was when you were still essentially in a truck. I mean, you weren't never in a truck, but essentially like not paying attention to anything.
Yeah, doing all the calls. I mean, if you're at 175,000, but your booking rate's 35%, 40%, you can get it to 80.
Yeah, even if you brought it up to 60, you can double.
Yeah, you could double.
You could replace yourself and hire another person, bring your booking rate up to 60%. Now you just doubled your business, just like that. But I mean, yeah, like you just said, really, you could probably go up to 80%.
Yeah, you could get to 80. 80% is so doable on booking rate. It's not. I think getting from 80 to 90 is harder than getting from 30 to 60.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that's way harder.
Because usually what's causing your booking rate to be that low is something simple.
Yeah.
Like you answering the phone.
Yeah, just yeah, when they hear me, my deep voice answering the phone, they want it. This doesn't work like as good as having a nice, friendly girl voice.
Yeah, friendly.
Even that changes.
Yeah, changes that. Well, that's what people. I mean, really, it's what people are conditioned to in the corporate world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you can change that, you can start to grow. Then you're gonna have to train the guys and get them out there, let them fail. And like we do, we don't even. I'm sure a lot of these guys are training out in the field strictly.
I mean, we've been in situations where we've had to do that.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
Yeah, training out in the field only. I don't.
We don't like it either. We still have to do it a little bit, but I mean,
eventually you're gonna have to put them out in the field to train.
Yeah, eventually, yes, but you can. When you're just throwing a fresh guy in a truck with somebody or yourself, I mean, yeah, you get a chance to show them everything, but I mean, you could run 3 days worth of just broken sprinkler heads and not even get to, or you could run 3 days worth of, trying to find valves that are 20 feet in the ground, open circuits, you could potentially run into the most complicated stuff for a few days, and you got this new guy with you and he can't help you and you can't teach him anything because you're trying to figure out this mess.
Yeah, and we just saw that with the guy that we brought out of the classroom. We were running into simple stuff. He was running into simple stuff with Damon, and then they run into the valve in the middle of the concrete that's got 3 sets of wires in it, and Damon's like, he doesn't even have time to explain what's going on because he's trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it doesn't work as well as you think it does because then you spend a couple days and now you got a couple. There's so much when you're trying to train a guy fresh out in the field. There's just so much wasted time because either you'll run into something so complicated that your new guy's not even ready for, and like you won't get time to explain this. Like I don't have time to explain how I know where to look when there's like all these different wires going all these different places, and the pool, there's been a pool added, so now all this stuff's going over here. I mean, you don't have time to explain all that.
Yeah, I think that's probably another
because you hadn't even got him through the basics of it yet.
Yeah,
because you can't explain how the world works if the person you're talking to doesn't know it's round.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's probably a huge reason why it takes so long for people to train. But if you bring them into a classroom,
give them the basics
for 2 months.
Give them the basic skills. Show them how everything works. Let them play with it. Get on their hands and mess with everything individually. Then put them out in the truck. So that way, when they're out in the truck, they're not just completely lost waiting on somebody to explain it. They can be like, "Oh, okay, I've seen this before."
Mm-hmm.
And then your good field techs can give them the rest, give them the experience they need, the more hands-on that they need, and the issue diagnosing experience that they need.
Yeah. By the time they're out of the classroom, they know how to use all the tools. They know
how everything works together.
Yeah. For us, by the time they leave the classroom, they've built a sprinkler system above ground by themselves. They had to build it without asking any questions. They don't get any help. They have a time limit. They got to build it's like a 3-zone system. It's going to have like 1 zone spray head, 1 zone rotors, 1 zone drip. They have to wire it into a timer. It's got to work. They're doing all that by themselves. I mean, if you do that, I think by the time they get into the truck, I mean, they're so prepared.
Yeah, they've got all the skills. They've got all the basic skills you can give them, and now it's just time for them to start trying to use them.
Yeah.
Which is good because then they can go with one of your seasoned techs and make the mistakes in front of them, and then they can help fill in the blanks.
Yeah, and then you can just cut this training time down so much. And then when you send them out, they can handle 80-90% of what they're going to see. And if they run into something weird, they can call somebody else. If we need to reschedule it, we'll reschedule it. It's not a big deal. You just have to let that happen. Let it take place.
Yeah, you're not gonna. Every guy that you hire, you can't just make him an expert. You can't.
You're not going to get anywhere if you're waiting for them to know as much as you do.
You're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, never grow.
Because chances are you didn't learn sitting in a truck with somebody for 5 years.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you might have. I mean, but like, is that what you're gonna do? If it took you 5-7 years to learn everything, and you said, all right,
15 years.
Yeah, 15 years, 10 years on an install, 5 years on a service. Is that what you're gonna wait for that?
Yeah. Hey, in 15 years you're gonna work for me, but the first 10 years I'm gonna send you're going with this company. You're gonna spend 10 years with them. And then another 5 years, you're going to go to this company, and then when you're done, you come over here and work for me.
Yeah,
it's not practical.
Yeah, or you're going to be looking to hire only old men.
It's not going to
only
work.
35-year-olds or more.
Yeah, you got a hurt bag. We want to hire somebody else with a hurt bag.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's unpractical. Completely unpractical.
No. Yeah, I don't like it. Just got to take risks. That's what it's all about, really. That's what running a business about, taking risks. When they make somebody mad, go fix it.
Yeah, that's what your CSRs and you and your service managers and everybody else are for.
Mm-hmm.
Clean up the mess.
Yep. Well, we'll get into some of this objection stuff.
Sure.
All right. So this is from Service MVP. Put that up. So they got different levels of objections. we'll start with the level 1 objections. This is really where you stand out, and this is just something we printed off. This is not something that we say to everything. Some of this you might be like, oh, I'd never say that. And we might not say it either. But some of these objections, I'm sure you've heard about it. I'll tell you what. So I'll read off this objection. You tell me what you would say. And
Okay. Let's see how bad I can mess this up.
and then I'll tell you what they say. The client says, I need more time to think about it.
Okay. Well, that's okay. So that's a valid objection. I've got a couple different answers for that, but usually, I mean, no, it's not typically an objection I get. Usually, the objection I get that's lined with that is, I need to talk to my wife, or I need to talk to my husband, which is the same objection essentially. But if you're talking on the sense of, I need to think about it, one of the first things that I'm going to say to that objection is, okay, well, I understand that definitely. Is there anything I can do to help make this simpler for you? Do we need to go over the estimate again? Do I need to send it to you? Is there anything holding you up?
Yeah, the wife one isn't even on the level 1 objection. So for that one,
these are levels as in like difficulty levels.
Yeah, difficulty levels.
Oh, okay.
So I need more time to think about it. They put the response as, not a problem. I'll stay with you as long as you need. What should we do?
Yeah.
That's one thing about, this is Joe Crisera's, he wrote a book called What Should We Do? And that's like his famous line. He always likes to end everything with, what should we do? Because it puts it back.
Yeah, that's just tactic in itself. You always want to put it back on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I tell all the guys when they're, presenting their options and going over everything. When you get done, the last thing you should say is, what are you thinking about? Or how are you feeling? Or, which one sounds more appealing to you? And then the next person, I can tell you this 100%, the next person that speaks after that is the one that loses.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is throwing it right back in them, because really these level 1s aren't, like, whatever they're saying here isn't the full objection. So they're saying, I need more time to think about it. That doesn't mean anything. Like, that's a smoke screen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that. It's like so you say, not a problem. I'll stay with you as long as you need. What should we do? That's going to force them to have to, it's like, okay, well, now I got to say something else because he's not backing off. I'm going to eventually have to tell him the truth.
Yeah. And that's the tricky part. Once you get them to give you the real objection, that's when you can fix it. You got to deal with like 2 or 3 lies before you get the actual objection.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another one here is, these prices are ridiculous. Ridiculous. You're more money, right?
Read that one more time.
These prices are ridiculous. You're more money, right?
What is that last? You're more money as in like they've gotten other quotes?
Yeah, I assume so.
Okay. Read that one more time.
These prices are ridiculous. You're more money, right?
Okay. Well, so what I would say to that is I would say, I could definitely understand. I can definitely understand that, I can tell you that there's probably a lot of cases where we're more expensive than other companies. Obviously, we're never going to compete with, the guy that lives 3 houses down that does it on the side on the weekends when he doesn't have time. And, but, the quality that I'm going to offer you, the warranty that I'm going to offer you, I know you're not going to get that anywhere else. But while we've got the conversation up, what do you think is a fair price for the work that I'm quoting you?
Yeah. This one, that's pretty much what this one says without asking about the price. This one just says, Bill, I know that higher quality is a high investment. What should we do? Or so what should we do?
I like asking them what they think the work is worth to them, because as soon as they give you a number, it's over with.
Yeah. If they can give you a number, it's in the bag. My last plumber never charged as much.
That's a tricky one, because you can be rude with that and say, well, where's he at?
Yeah.
Or why didn't you call him? So
You don't even have to say that in a rude way either. You can just
yeah, I mean, no, I mean, yeah, you can say it nicely, but I mean, it's being used in a rude way.
Yeah.
Is the funny part. So I would say to that one, I would say I probably would say, well, then may I ask why you didn't call him back?
Yeah. I don't think that's bad either. And I don't think some of these answers are like end all be alls. This one says, yes, our solutions are definitely more premium. So what should we do?
That's another good answer. That goes back to quality, which is what I'm asking too by asking why didn't you call them back?
Yeah.
There must have been an issue, a price issue, a quality issue, or a scheduling issue that forced him to call somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're standing in all of these, you're standing firm.
Mm-hmm.
You're not. You say this with, you look them right in the eye and say it. You stand firm. I would say it with a smile, but you look them right in the eye, smile, say it. Another one here. Why are your prices so high?
The prices reflect the quality of work that I'm going to give you, reflects the business, it reflects, the prices are a reflection of me too. Sorry, I'm stuttering. Reflection of me, I'm not, you've called me obviously because you saw us on Google or you've heard about our reputation. I can come out here. I've got a professional solution. It's going to get done in a timely manner. Everything's going to be nice and picked up. We're a trusted company. You can look at all our reviews. You don't have to worry about me stealing a bicycle out of your garage or something silly like that. You're not paying for the company. You're paying for me. You're paying for someone that you can trust that knows what they're doing, that's going to stand behind their work, and that's going to be there when you call.
Yeah. This on here it says, so why are your prices so high? You say, I don't know. Why do you think we're worth more? What should we do? I don't know if I like that one as much. I've heard it phrased differently. When people ask, why are you so high? Why are your prices so high? I've heard people say, I don't know. Why do you think your other company was so cheap?
That's a good answer for that.
Or, if they say, you're more money, you're more expensive. You're the highest quote we've got.
Your answers are trying to make the client feed you back what I'm saying instead of me feeding it to them.
Yeah, right. This one. Because if you ask, why do you think we're worth more? That's what they're trying to do here is have them sell themselves back to you, which is
a good way to do it.
Yeah, you can try that. No, I've never tried that. But, if
you've never been in a truck.
Yeah, I have. I've tried to sell over the phone. I just don't know how that would work. Trying to get them to sell back to you.
It can work. It can work sometimes depending on what if the objection truly is price, then maybe.
Yeah, some people say it works, if they're like, well, because then they might be like, well,
But it has to be a price objection in the sense of, okay, it's a little more than I wanted to spend versus somebody, if you're talking about the estimate's $2,000 and they were expecting it to be $1,800 or $1,700, then that would work. But if you're writing a $2,000 invoice for somebody that thought the work was going to be $75, you're in trouble.
Yeah,
you're not getting through to them.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. I do like the question of why do you think they're so cheap?
Yes.
Because that's going to make them question, like, maybe they are cheap. Like, what's up with them? And that kind of gets them to think, well, it's going to get them to really compare.
I've actually told, because I remember, though, I got heat back one time because this guy called me out to set his controller. And he was explained over the phone what our service fee was. He was okay with it. I came out, I set his controller. We looked at everything. I wrote him some estimates. He didn't want to pay for anything. So I went to charge him the service fee, and he was like, why are you charging me the service fee? I'm like, well, one, because I came out here and set your controller, and two, we went through everything together. He was like, you're going to charge me $75 to set my controller? And I looked at him and said, When's the last time you called your AC guy to come change your return filter or set your thermostat? Call your AC guy. Call your AC guy one time and have him come set your thermostat one time.
What did he say?
Nothing.
Yeah.
He got quiet and paid it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't think about it that way.
Yeah.
They think some people think that the panel is like this, robot space NASA device that is incapable of learning how to use. It's very simple to use. Everybody had to learn how to use a thermostat at some point in their life. Mm-hmm. There's no reason why they can't learn how to use that. If they don't want to learn how to use it, then that's fine. We can get you on a smart controller that can do it for you, or we can get you on the monitoring program that HydroWise offers, and we can do it for you. But, don't be surprised when you're calling me every season to change it and I charge you money.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm telling you, call your AC guy and have him set your thermostat. See how much that costs.
Call an electrician to change some light bulbs.
Yeah, change light bulbs. Call your plumber, to turn your sink on.
Yeah, my toilet's clogged.
Yeah,
you come do that. You're not gonna like that bill.
No,
it's gonna be more than the service fee too.
That's called paying for convenience.
Mm-hmm. Here's another one. I don't know how often we get this. You expect me to buy this today?
Probably not that. That one. That one, no. That one will only come in the phrase of once the sale is closed, or if they're thinking about closing on the sale, they will ask, are you able to do this today? Or are you going to do all of this today?
Yeah.
Now, I have had them ask in a sense of, they'll say, are you going to do all this today? And you say yes, and they're thinking, okay, I wasn't prepared to pay for this today, which in my mind, I'm like, well, why did you call today? But anyway, that's not the point. I have had them say that, but not ask that.
Yeah. Well, if you get that, the answer that they have is, I just expect you to do what's right for your family. What should we do?
Man, that sounds kind of rude.
Yeah, I think if you say, I think like if you expect me to buy this today, you say, I just expect you to do what's right. Yeah, I mean, you could probably change it up a little bit. Like, hey, I just expect you to do what you think is right for your family and your home. So,
the home part.
Yeah. What do you want to do? And then throw it, right back in their court. This one, I know I've been asked on the phone, do these prices compare with other contractors?
Well, I mean, that's a trick question, because what is your definition of comparing? Because I can compare apples to oranges.
Yeah. The answer here is, John, these solutions are one of a kind.
That would be what I would say. I would say comparison, probably not, because I find a lot of success in telling customers right off the bat, hey, I can tell you right now, we're going to be more expensive than anybody you get, but it's going to become the question of, do you want to pay that guy twice to do it, and then take a risk of having to pay me anyway?
Yeah.
The prices are almost a protection for you too, because you're paying for someone to do it once and do it right.
Yeah, I do like this answer too, because if you build options, it is a one-of-a-kind option. So it's like,
you're not going to get that option through anybody else.
Yeah, and it's hard to say, like, well, how does this price compare? Well, there's 4 items in that option. I don't know how it compares.
Yeah, I don't know the price book for everybody else. It's not how business works.
Yeah, all I can say is I built you this custom option. I built you 6 custom options.
You really want somebody out here working hourly in your yard, charging you, materials and labor, nickel and diming you for every single thing. Helping's a can of glue charges you $20.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Here's another one I know we get. I didn't think it would cost this much.
Well, that's an easy one. Did you have a budget in mind?
Yeah. This one says, I understand. I didn't expect to find these issues either. What should we do?
That's a good answer. I like that answer.
Yeah. I mean, these are the issues.
I mean,
what are we going to do about them? I guess I have no choice, right?
I don't think I've ever got. I have gotten that one. Usually when they're signing the estimate, though.
Yeah.
Once they're signing it, you don't have. Doesn't really matter anymore. But
The answer is, on the contrary, John. You have 6 choices. What?
options, yeah,
What should we do?
that's a good one. Never thought about it like that.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny. I'm an attorney, and you charge more than me.
I have actually gotten that one once.
I haven't gotten it from an attorney, but I've heard so many times, you charge more than my lawyer, and you charge more than my doctor. Like, but this says, I understand. Quality has its price.
Yep.
Just shut it down.
Yep. Let's get that mindset out of here.
Yeah.
Go pay your lawyer to do it then.
Yeah, I guess go ask your lawyer if he wants to come dig up the pipe leak in your yard. I bet you
His answer's gonna be no.
my lawyer charges $4.50 an hour. So I'm sure we don't charge more than your lawyer, especially if he's digging in your yard.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Yeah, just shut that one down. Well, that was the level 1 objections. And those are all smoke screens.
Yeah.
Just getting you just got to get to the real one. Let's see these here. Let's see, level 2 objections. Let's see here. I go through the sheet. It's been a minute. This says just use for any objection. Offer to remove the top option. So like, not a problem. I understand you want to hold off on this, but can I ask you a question? Either way, can we both admit that the top option is probably just too much for you at this time? Yes. That's what I thought too. Let's take a look at a more economical choices down below. What should we do? Okay, so no matter what objection you get, just go ahead and say, all right, let's go ahead and get this top one out of here. I know if we can both admit that one's too much. Now let's look at some of these other ones and get them focused on something more cheap. Something more cheap.
Yeah.
Huh.
I think never had to remove the top option, but I have in quite a few scenarios, actually probably a lot more often than not. After you explain everything to them, they give you that, well, I don't really know. This is all too much. I got to think about this. That would be something. You get an objection like that, and I'm thinking, okay, well, is there any option here that sounded more like something you would pick? I would guess that you probably don't want to spend all of this money right now, but one of these two options right here is a little more cheaper. It makes a little more sense. Let's just see if we can work with one of these two.
Yeah, that kind of goes into this next one. This says, ask how they normally buy things. Use it for the think it overs. People that are undecided. It says, I understand this is a big decision and you want to be certain. Part of our service is that you get is for us to help you with this. Can I ask you a question that might help you? When you purchase things that affect the health and safety of your family, do you normally go with the premium, mid-range, or economy solutions? So ask them, what do you normally purchase? Where does it normally? Is premium, mid-range, or economy? Then once they tell you, we normally go with the mid-range. You say, what should we do? They always end it with that. Because now that they've said, then it's like, okay. Well,
yeah, trying to get them more at home with their buying experience, everybody, when they go to the store and buy like an expensive pair of sunglasses or go look at a car, that's something that they know a little bit about. They know what they're buying into. When you're when you're coming to their house and you're trying to sell them a home service, they called you because they don't know nothing about it. They don't exactly even know what they're buying. When they go buy a pair of Oakleys, they know what they're buying.
Yep.
So that's kind of that's trying to put them in the sense of kind of giving them power, essentially. Like, okay, so if this is the mid-grade option, or this is the economy option, or this is the top of the line, that's usually what I go for.
Yeah.
You're trying to bring the buying experience closer to home to them so you can kind of get them more comfortable with you.
Yeah. And the next one is doing that same thing for their spouse. If they say they want to talk to their spouse, maybe you always want to ask if you can call them, but this is saying that's a great idea. You'd like to ask them for their thoughts. That's completely understandable. Can I ask you something though? When your wife purchases things that affect the health and safety of your family, do they normally purchase the more premium, mid-range, or economy solutions? So asking them the same question about their spouse. Now we all know the answer for our spouses.
Yeah.
So then,
No comment.
yeah, and I would lie. I'd say, "Oh yeah, she goes with the cheap. Don't worry." I don't even have to answer
Yeah, you know we're live, right?
that. Yeah. Here's one. Ask if you did a bad job. Use for any objection.
See, I don't see how. What does he mean by a bad job?
Like if they're not buying, say, John, I'm really starting to think this is my fault. Can I ask you something personal? Did I do a bad job putting these options together for you?
Okay.
Just seeing like.
I was going to say bad job. I was wondering if that meant the work because I was going to say that implies that you're trying to sell it after you're done. But okay, I see. He means a bad job is in like presentation and, presentation and explanation. Mostly presentation.
Yeah. Although I have heard several companies taking the approach of doing what they called about first, selling that, getting that done, and then doing the inspection.
I've heard those.
Selling.
I've heard those ideas before. There's so many of these tactics that are so situational based, and that's the thing that sucks the most about doing this kind of work and running sales is you almost have to figure out. You almost have to know what your customer is going to choose when you present these options. Do you know how impossible that is to teach somebody how to read people like that? And sometimes it can work against you if you misread it because you can missell something like that. But
Yeah, I don't know. I do think I like that idea because if they called about something and you go out there and you just look at that one issue, say, yeah, we got it taken care of. Here's the price. Boom. After I'm done, then you check it out and say, I also found this for an additional. Then now that issue's taken care of, it's out of their mind. But I could also see how now once that issue's over with, now they're like, well,
that's all I cared about.
yeah, that's all I cared about. I don't, all that other stuff we can.
I found more success in, when you find all these other things like, hey, if you'll get one of these, I'll fix whatever you called about. I'll fix for nothing.
Yeah, depending on how.
Then it's like it's not even relevant anymore.
Yeah, or giving a discount on what they called it out. Just stepping it down, building packages. Yeah, when things bog down, asking them if they had to pick one. Just saying, hey, if they're undecisive, if you had to pick one, which one? And then tell them that's a good choice. Follow it up with, so what should we do after they pick one?
What should we do? That's a famous saying now.
Yeah, it is. Level 3. Go through here. Trying to figure out how this sheet's set up. I think this is just about your price being higher. Yeah, I think that these are all about price.
Yeah, price objection right here.
Yeah. Why is it's all about price. So
the best thing I've found, and we've got a lot of people that do irrigation that are going to listen to this. This is an irrigation podcast, so if we can just cut straight to it here, I have found that in irrigation, there seems like there's a wall that you're constantly hitting that people are just not expecting to pay prices like this. And The only way that I've found to successfully combat it at a high conversion percentage is to make them see the value.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say I mean, I agree with the wall, but I would say value. You have to sell on value in any service. It's more about value than it is price, trust, and value. But there is a wall. I mean, there's a ton of guys, a ton of lawn guys doing this stuff. It's unregulated like it should be. There's still, I mean, that's why we're doing this, is because there's still so many people out there just charging $100 an hour, $120 an hour. So like, if more people would grow and we could get the irrigation industry to be more like the plumbing industry, then the customers wouldn't have that idea
Yeah.
about the irrigation industry as a whole.
Yeah, they have one guy that they met, through one of their kids' friends that could do just a little bit of maintenance here and there for nothing, and then that guy goes and gets a real job or goes off to college or, leaves or something. The only thing they've gotten used to is paying $5 a sprinkler head.
Yeah, he was the guy doing the mowing, doing mulch, trimming bushes, replacing sprinkler heads. And a lot of customers, I think, still deal with that. And then whenever they have a real issue that guy can't fix, they call somebody like us. And then they're like, oh, man, that's more money than I thought. But really, it's cheaper than any plumber is charging. I mean, I know plumbing companies and electric companies, they're $350 just to show up.
Yep.
And so the customers are used to paying them that. But then when we come to
not
our
us.
side, yeah, they're like, oh, wow, that's a lot. It's like, it's not really.
Yeah. In the grand scheme of things, it's not.
Yeah.
You got to pay a plumber, $350 just to show up at your door, even just to have him change a float in your toilet. Have fun with that.
Yeah, the float that you can buy at Home Depot for $20.
Yeah.
They'll pay, $300, $400, $500. I mean, I've heard of plumbing companies charging $500 to clean out your drain in the sink.
Mm-hmm.
$1,100 for faucets. But we still got guys in the irrigation industry charging $150 for a valve, digging up pipe leaks for $100. It's like, what are we doing? We got to bring
we're killing everybody is what we're doing.
Yeah, you got to bring the whole industry up. Then it's just gonna help everybody. Yeah, I mean, so I'll just read a couple of these real quick before we get off. How long have we been doing?
We're about an hour in now.
All right, cool. Well, just a couple of these on price. This is level 3. You're battling here. I mean, you need to keep going through these objections until you get a no, get off my property, I think.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
We're going to go until it's no, thank you. I don't want it.
Yeah. Because chances are, if you don't get it closed there, you're not going to get a call back anyway.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and this ain't about being pushy. I mean, if they're giving you smoke screens, it's your job to get through the smoke screen until they tell you what they're thinking. That's not.
And then when they finally tell you, if you can't fix it, you can't fix it.
Yeah, because they're him-hawing around what they're actually thinking. You don't have to be pushy. It's just tell me what it is. You need to call your wife? Okay, call your wife. Like, I don't want to charge you a service call just for you to approve the quote later.
It's stupid.
Let's just get through whatever it is. Let's figure it out. If the price is a little high, okay, can we take some stuff off? Let's get through whatever it is. Let's see if we can close it. If we can't close it, then we can't close it. Yeah, these last things, this is like, when was the last time you got the best service anywhere, like a restaurant or a hotel, but you paid the cheapest price?
That's a good one, because I won't be able to answer that correctly.
Yeah. I mean, the answer is never.
Never.
It's the only correct answer. Well, John, only you would know, since you saw our service and their service. Why do you think we're worth more? Throwing it back on them.
Yep. Trying to get them to explain the value to you.
Yeah. If they're saying you're more expensive than somebody else. Let's see. John, can I ask you what you do for a living? I've wanted to ask this so many times. I'm a school teacher, he says. What would happen to the quality of the work if someone did your job cheaper?
There was something one time. I don't remember if it was you or somebody else, but they got the price objection of, that's too much or something like that. And they asked them what they did, and it was something legal where they were I don't remember what they were doing, but whoever it was threw it back in their face and said, well, do you charge for every word you write on a paper? Or do you charge for the ink? Do you charge for the amount of time you stand in front of the printer and print the paper? No.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, somebody wanted a breakdown of all the price of materials, because they're just looking, they're like, okay, sprinkler has this. Well, what's the price breakdown? I want to see the labor. I want to see this. I want to see that.
Yeah, and I think the customer was like an accountant. They're like, well, do you break down your price per hour by how much paper you use, how much ink you use?
Yeah. And they said no, of course.
Yeah. And an accountant of all people should know that, since they're out there charging hundreds of dollars an hour. Like, whatever, bro.
Yeah. You charge for every word you speak to?
Yeah. We're not. Another one here. If I were to lower prices, I'd have to start cutting corners.
Would you be okay with that?
Yeah. And then they even lit, like, I'd have to start cutting corners on safety or reliability. Which one of these should I cut corners on?
Some of our customers would probably say safety.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Some of them even have offered to give up their warranty for a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Another one here. My greatest fear is that somebody would do this job cheaper. How would you feel if somebody cut corners just to lower the price?
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, I do like that one. Just reading through here. I mean, this one says, how do you purchase things that pertain to the health and safety of your family? Oh, we already.
Yeah, we already kind of touched base on that one.
Oh, man. There's level 4s and level 5s. Maybe we'll get into these next time.
Yeah, I think we're at our hour mark now.
Yeah. I know I got a busy day today. Maybe we'll get into the level 4 and level 5 objections next time. But
we got another podcast to release now.
Yeah. Overall, I would say, yeah, go through those objections. You'd be surprised how many no's you can turn into a yes.
Yeah, really. There's a lot of success in this stuff. I mean, I've had people look at these objections. I've had some of our own guys look at these objections and be like, well, this is stupid. That's stupid. That'll never work. Okay, well, obviously it did, or there wouldn't be, people paying to see the answers to these objections.
Yeah.
Obviously they work, or somebody wouldn't. People don't write up. I mean, this is like, pages and pages of stuff. People don't just write this stuff because it doesn't do anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. I'm not doing this for the fun of it.
These are objections that people have went through and found solutions for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and start tracking your objections. Every time you get one, write it down. Figure out what you're saying.
Yeah.
Track the most common ones. You want to train your guys. You want to go from 175,000 to 350. Start figuring out what you hear the most.
I would favor to guess that if you could figure out what your your most common objection, and just give your service techs an answer for just that one, the conversion rate would go up.
Oh yeah.
Even if we just forget about all the other ones we get, like our most common one is, well, I got to talk to my spouse. That's the most common one that we get. Even if our new guys just knew how to handle that objection, it would help them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That was really not even that hard, I feel like.
No, I mean, it can be, but no.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes they can make it a little difficult.
It just depends on if that's the actual objection or if it's a smoke screen.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it depends on. It's the actual objection. Okay, well, you want to take a couple minutes, go inside, call her or call them if they're inside, and you want to bring them out here. If you want to bring the phone out here, we can talk about all this together again. You know, just answer the objection.
Yeah.
Don't let them use it as a smokescreen. Answer it. Try to give them a solution for it, and that way, if you give them the solution, they'll either, they'll take the solution and run with it and do it right there, or they'll come up with another smokescreen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just keep going through them until we get the real one.
Yeah. Which the real one is always going to be, the real one almost probably 9 times out of 10 is going to be the price or they don't trust you.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 objections that it's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
There's some reason that they don't trust you, or the price is too high.
Yeah.
And the way to combat the price too high is to obviously, one, try to figure out where you can lower the price to get them to say yes. That's a whole thing in itself. Or getting them to understand the reason why the price is high. Getting them to see the quality.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Get them to understand what they're paying for.
Yeah. I think another one is probably, and this was probably an honest one, but I'm still waiting on some other estimates, or I have a guy coming tomorrow to give me another bid.
Yeah, that one's a whole. That one we'll have to talk about next time. That's got there's a bunch of different ways to come through that one.
Yeah, we need to put something together. We can go through, because that's probably a real one, and your sales skills are going to have to come out.
Yeah. Well, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think that's it.
Oh yeah, we got to go have lunch with Rainbird today.
Is that right?
Yeah.
All right.
You didn't get the email?
Well, let's go do it then.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. We'll see y'all later.
All right. Bell money it is.